Day 2 of the Trump impeachment trial, and it's getting a bit redundant. The Democrats again today tried to tie the riots on January 6th to the idea that Donald Trump incited them. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because there's not much new to report. Here's just a couple quick moments from today.
And then he aimed straight at the Capitol, declaring, "You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong." He told them to fight like hell, and they brought us hell on that day.
All right, Jamie Raskin there. Apparently fight and fight like hell are now phrases to incite violence. The Democrats want you to forget about all the times they've used the exact same phrases. Check out the website chuckschumer.com when you're bored. It brings you to a petition asking you to add your name because it's time to fight like hell. This in regards to Trump filling Ruth Bader Ginsburg's Supreme Court seat. We all remember that. Below it says, Chuck's ready for the fight of our lifetime in the Senate. Are you? You guys ready to fight? If we convict Trump, I guess we got to do Schumer next. They did the same thing, of course. Chuck just got lucky. Nobody stormed the Supreme Court. He tried, but it's now clear he attempted to incite violence. We see that. Pretty weak sauce today from Jamie Raskin, but nobody's surprised. Just one more, I promise, from Ted Lieu from California.
It was only because all of these people stayed strong and refused President Trump that our republic held fast. At this point, President Donald J. Trump ran out of nonviolent options to maintain power.
All right, this statement presupposes so many things that just are not true. Democrats, of course, continue to conflate the riots with Trump while ignoring what he actually said. It's just a weak case all around. And Senator Josh Hawley, a favorite of ours, made a lot of people mad today with his lack of respect for the trial. Listen to this description.
Josh Hawley, who's made his disdain for this process abundantly clear in public comments, is doing the same thing in the chamber. All the senators have the option to use the gallery, the upstairs area, for seating for social distancing. Josh Hawley is the only one taking advantage of that opportunity. He's been sitting with his legs up on the seat in front of him, essentially reading non-related material.
We wish we had a picture of that. Hawley with his feet up reading Tom Sawyer while House managers fake cry down on the floor. It was probably pretty funny to watch. Regardless, Democrats press on and will continue tomorrow. Try to stay awake. So far, the story has been if you're a Democrat, you think Trump's guilty. If you're a Republican, for the most part, you think that he's not. But then there's the Senate Majority Leader who's sending mixed messages on impeachment. This Boston Globe headline says it all. What's going on with Mitch McConnell? Is he really hinting he'll vote to convict Trump? McConnell voted the trial was unconstitutional, but has reportedly been telling senators to vote their conscience. Here's Kevin Kramer from North Dakota.
We're looking at the evidence. There's no pressure from anybody to do anything differently, so I think it's a matter of every individual's conscience.
No pressure from McConnell?
None whatsoever.
So I kind of find that hard to believe. McConnell leads the Republicans, of course. Many are going to be looking at him for cues as this thing wraps up. Everybody has been waiting and watching to see what happens with the Republican Party. There were many moments when we all wondered, will the establishment Republicans finally purge Donald Trump? You know, they kind of want to. It hasn't happened yet because the damage to the party would be irreparable. The real truth is this: populism is the threat. The part of Donald Trump's message that sounded eerily similar to Bernie Sanders. That's what the big machine doesn't like. The big machine is corporate, it's global, and it's political. Trump's message was the opposite, and both Democrats and, yes, old guard Republicans did not like it. Trump also didn't take corporate money. He wasn't corruptible. That's another huge problem in D.C. Most people that voted for Trump knew that he was really onto something special. We've watched politicians for years give our country away. Lobbyists hired by special interests and corporations own our government on both sides. Let's be honest about it. Trump was the cure for this horrible disease, except most of D.C. didn't want that cure. Most Republicans played along with Trump because they had to, but they didn't want him there. They wanted somebody who knew how to play the game. They wanted a D.C. insider that knew how the system worked, because that system works so well for everyone who's involved. Politicians, corporate America, the wealthy, the elite class. They're always the winners, the people always the losers. This country hit its high water mark and started its decline the moment major U.S. corporations realized they could start making way more money doing business and making products overseas. That is when the middle class started disappearing in this country, and that's a lot of our problem. The country was never the same once globalism began. This fight isn't Democrat versus Republican anymore. In this fight, Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell are on the same team. Trump is on the other side. How Mitch McConnell votes in this trial will be something to watch. And for what it's worth, Team Trump tonight saying that they think Mitch McConnell will not vote to convict. We're going to have to wait and see on that.